it's Indiana Jones and the Tampons of Doom. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe and leave a comment if you like, all that lovely stuff. Today I've got an article from cbr.com. It's a bit of an update on Indiana Jones 5, if anybody's even actually interested to see this movie. What does it concern? Well, the release date for the 5th chapter of Indiana Jones has, for various reasons, been delayed 5 times by Disney. Great. They can delay it 10 times if they like, because I don't think I'm going to go and watch this at the cinema. I think I might wait for this one to come out on home release. And when it's $1.99 on Amazon, then I think I might give it a watch, just to tear it to pieces. Sorry folks. Okay, audiences will finally see Disney's Indiana Jones 5. No, they won't. No, they won't, because it's going to be shit. In June 2023. What? June 20... No, whatever. The road to its release has been a long one. No shit. Since the release of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and its invisible rays of bullshit, the next installment of the 40-year-old franchise, starring the 140-year-old man, has been at some level of pre-production, right? But a wide variety of setbacks has prevented it from getting a green light. From script issues because they were rubbish to a change in ownership. Brilliant. To the C-19 mandemic. The last 14 years the last 14 years have certainly not been in the franchise's favour. Neither has the fact that it's going to be like watching your granddad run. Franchise staples Harrison Ford, Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, and producers Frank Marshall and Kathleen Kennedy have all been on board. Well, you should have fucking thrown her overboard. Have all been on board with the 5th instalment in some capacity for the past 14 years. What have you been doing? Have you been for a picnic? What have you been doing? 14 years. Don't take 14 years to make a film, man. It only takes 4 months. Just write a script and then pretend to be someone and then film it on your film machine and then give it to people to watch, if they want to watch it. 14 years. What a load of cack. It shows the state of Hollywood now and forever. There's no talent. Anyway, having said that, even after Disney's official acquisition, which was probably the biggest mistake on the planet, don't give anything to Disney. Couldn't write their way out of a paper bag. What a load of crap. But some key creative changes have occurred since then. Most notably, Spielberg dropped out. Are you surprised Spielberg dropped out? He probably looked at the script, looked at Harrison Ford, thought, where's Harrison Ford? Because, like, are we making The Mummy? And then thought, nah, see ya. So he dropped out as director in 2020, eventually handing off directorial duties to the Logan director James Mangold. Mangold will also be co-writing with his usual collaborators Jez and John Henry Butterworth, as Lucas was announced in 2017 not to be providing the story, probably because Lucas has got better things to do. Good man. Little is known about the plot or even the title at this stage. How can you not know anything about the plot? Is it the people that are making the movie that doesn't know anything about the plot? What are you talking about? You're supposed to be getting people hyped up for this movie. What a load of shite. Sorry about that. But fans will indeed see he's not 79. Is he 79? I thought he was 81. 79-year-old Ford. Fans will see... What? 79-year-old Ford don the fedora for one last time, despite the many obstacles that have stood in the film's way. There's Indiana Jones, look. That's what we wanted to see. We want to see masculinity and muscles and a hat and a whip and some hills in the back with grass on. That's how I remember him. Just as during the development of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, the first and most constant obstacle standing in the way of Indiana Jones 5 is the script delays. Oh! You could have written 15 scripts in 14 years. What are you doing? Lucas stated that the story for an fucking hell, can't even talk. Lucas stated that the story for an Indiana Jones film needed the approval of himself, Spielberg and Ford. This stalled the 4th film for many years. Why didn't you just get somebody who was amazing at writing scripts? Is it impossible? And proved to be a reoccurring issue in the 5th film's development. Only 2 months after Crystal Skull's release, in an interview with Time Out, Lucas commented on the status of the next sequel. specifying the creative differences between the trio. Tensions were primarily between himself and Spielberg. They disagreed on how closely the film's story and tone should correspond to its past. Lucas elaborated that, "I'm looking to the future. Steven's still in the past. Or so is Indiana Jones. It's like 1940. What are you talking about? It's not Star Wars and the Crystal Skull, you dong." And said that he wanted to push the series to a whole new place. Yeah, into the fucking sea. While Spielberg wanted something more traditional. Nothing is known of this innovative script that Lucas was penning, but Ford said in November 2008 to Huffington Post, great, that the premise was crazy but great. It's like your mad ant. Lucas's idea was ultimately shelved, and his involvement seemingly became less substantial over the next few years. In 2012, Frank Marshall stressed that the development for the script had stalled and that the movie might not be made. Unlike Star Wars, no Indiana Jones projects were announced upon Disney's acquisition of Lucasfilm later that year. In 2015, Disney CEO Bob Iger stated an interest in building up the Indiana Jones universe, which ignited fleeting rumours that Chris Pratt was taking up the hat and whip from Ford. What? However, Kathleen Kennedy finally revealed in 2016 that Indiana Jones 5 was indeed being made with Ford and Spielberg in tow, and later announced a July 2019 release. But again, as the latest shifting series of writers indicated, no script had been finalised. What are you doing? It's like your job. Do your job. You wouldn't ask a plumber to come round. Can you fix me taps in the kitchen, please? Oh, yeah. Give me 14 years. No. David Corb, the writer of the divisive Christopher's Skull, was the surprising first choice to draft the film. With Spielberg committed to other movies and after Corb's script efforts failed to motivate the project, the film was pushed back a year to July 2020. Solo, #Solo Lost Money, a Star Wars story's John Kasdan served as Coop's replacement, who was then replaced by This Is Us's Dan Fogelman. Both writers worked on entirely different stories, but neither script had managed to put the film on track, so Disney delayed the film's release yet again to July 2021. What are you doing? Coop returned to the project in late 2019, saying he had settled on a good idea. Mint, it's only took you 13 years or whatever. I can come up with like 12 good ideas in the next 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Rocket powered roller skates, banana, strawberries and cucumber milkshake, haversacks for gorillas, self-removing trousers. Anyway, Corb said he'd settled on a good idea for the premise. The character of Mutt Williams, played by Shia LaBeouf. Right, Shia LaBeouf is one of the most underrated, best actors in Hollywood at the moment. I know he's round the fucking twist. I know he's mental, but you want to see him in The Peanut Butter Falcon, and you want to see him in Lawless, and you want to see him in Fury. I think he's amazing, and so should you. Otherwise, you should be ashamed of yourself. What? Hang on a minute. Just rewind here, right? Coop returned and said he had a good idea for the premise, and the character of Mutt Williams wouldn't be included, and that shooting would begin soon. But two major setbacks would hamper Indiana Jones 5. Yeah, one of them being that Harrison Ford's 100, and the other setback is, you're all shite! In February 2020, Spielberg announced he was stepping down from the franchise's director because his brain started to work properly, saying he wanted to pass the series on to a new generation. Bullshit of filmmakers. 3 months later, James Mangold officially took the reins and called all the fans a bunch of knobs, relieved the screenwriting duties from Coop, who said that he wanted Mangold to have his own take on it because he couldn't be bothered. In the midst of this, the thingy with the germs and all the rest of it had plunged Hollywood into uncharted territory and threatened every film's production and exhibition. While Indiana Jones finally managed to enter principal production in June 2021, it was no exception to virus setbacks, and again, its release date was delayed to June 2022. A shoulder injury prevented Ford from shooting for over 3 months. This wasn't before Disney gave a 5th and hopefully final release date. Yeah, get on with it. In October 2021, the studio announced that the still untitled Indiana Jones 5 would reach audiences on June the 30th, 2023. 4 years after its original slated release date, fans have observed and suffered through these multiple setbacks, and they will suffer again for 14 long years. But providing everything runs smoothly from now on, Indiana Jones will be cracking his whip and his hip on movie screens once again next summer. Oh, please like and share and do all that lovely stuff. So subscribe if you want to. Really, please leave a comment in the comment section down below, because I want to know what everyone thinks of this movie. What do you think it's going to be like? It's been 14 years since the crystal bullshit that everyone hated, and now they're making another one with a 107-year-old man hobbling about on screen. I love you, Harrison Ford, but nah, I don't want to watch me granddad running about. Do you know... Why? Why do they continue flogging dead horses in Hollywood? Get some people who can actually write and bring stuff to the screen that people want to see. I'm not even going to go into it. I'm just going to say that's off from me for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want more content, if you want people that can't talk, please subscribe. Thanks. I'll see you next time. Bye.